We begin this morning newscast with WION's continuous coverage of the coronavirus. Now, the deadly virus has killed 492 people globally. This is the biggest single-day jump in death toll since fatalities emerged last month, with nearly 25,000 people in China alone. And the numbers are only rising by the hour. The deadly coronavirus has left the entire world jittery. China has placed millions under lockdown, but the virus continues to spread. Countries are evacuating their citizens from the epicenter of the outbreak, and that is Wuhan. People are being screened at airports, but are these measures enough? No one knows the source of what is the latest and so far the most lethal strain of the coronavirus. No vaccine, no proven cure. As the world prepares to contain the contagion, WION gets you the latest from around the world, how our country is countering the threat. From Europe to Africa, from Asia's financial hub, Hong Kong, to the Indian subcontinent. WION reports on the latest health threat before the world. This is WION's global coverage on the global contagion.
Confirmed case of a person-to-person transfer of this virus. Now, we've heard from the Centres for Disease Control and Prevention here in the country that have said that while that might be a concerning development, they do say that the risk for the general population remains low. Now, at this point, 11 confirmed cases of the virus have been announced across the country. Of course, here in New York, no confirmed cases as of yet. That especially good news considering the fact that New York is, of course, the most populous city in the United States. It's also home to the biggest Chinese population of any major city outside of Asia anywhere in the world. But the message from health officials across the country is that they're doing as much as they can to try and share the load. And from the Centres of Disease Control, at the moment, all those coronavirus tests have to go through CDC headquarters in Atlanta, Georgia.
Spreading fears here in Hong Kong about how this virus can spread human to human in terms of its transmission. And of course, that's firing up calls for the government to do more. You know that Hong Kong has been through a series of protests. Now the protests are taking the form of strikes by medical workers who say Hong Kong's government simply isn't doing enough to shut out this virus. They want the border to China to be sealed off completely.
Belgium has been making extensive preparations to prepare for this moment. But of course, we've got increasing numbers of cases in Europe, 12 cases reported in Germany, 6 cases reported in France, and 2 in the UK and in Russia as well. So the numbers are creeping up as, of course, we have those increasing numbers of fatalities in Asia. Clearly, Europe has been on high alert for this.
Russia is trying very hard to contain the spread of the virus with those 2 confirmed diagnoses that came through last Friday. They've taken a number of measures to try to stem the spread of the virus. They have they've closed the border between the 2 countries. They have stopped all passenger trains traveling between Russia and China and vice versa.
Well, it is strong encouragement for the African continent that so far about 11 suspected cases whose whose samples have been taken to the lab are still negative. They can be considered negative, so considered just suspected cases. But the African Union, right after the coronavirus was announced as a public health problem, it set out to put an emergency meeting with all member states and inform them that it was important for them to start putting screening points.
So